Black Ops 6 has been out for just about a week now, and there has been a bunch of changes going on in the CDL. I mean, from the end of Modern Warfare 3 to now, the league looks entirely different, and whereas last season there was 4 teams dominating the league, this year it looks like there might just be 3. We have OpTic Texas, ATL FaZe, and the newly formed Los Angeles Thieves team, who are looking like the top 3 that are going to dominate this league. Hey, but you never know, it's Call of Duty. The most unexpected teams can come out and dominate at the beginning of the season, but in this video I want to focus on these top 3 teams, who could potentially contend with them, and all the chaos in the CDL after just 1 week of Black Ops 6 being out. It's going to be a very competitive season with a lot of younger talent looking to make a statement. You got to think about it like some people are fighting for jobs as Call of Duty pros, and now it's time for a lot of them to cement themselves in the league on a polished game that's been developed for 4 years. But at the top of the league, it's only right to start with the champs, OpTic Texas. They're coming off a historic season with Shotzzy, Pred, Dashy, and Kenny, but there were a lot of questions about their future at the beginning of 2023 because Scump retired from competitive Call of Duty, leaving OpTic scrambling to rebuild its roster. That was the time when Illy left and Hook and Ghosty joined in MW2. Dashy actually almost ended up leaving the team as well, but he stayed on the roster, and after they came up short in nearly every LAN event during MW2, they changed their roster going into Modern Warfare 3, signing Pred and Kenny, and the rest is history. They had some inconsistent placings, but were roughly in the top 3 throughout every major tournament. They fell short during Major 4. I'm not really too sure what happened here. The narratives around OpTic are always really harsh. I mean, fans are just passionate, and so the pressure was on them at COD Champs to not disappoint because they had the momentum of being in front of the home crowd and people just didn't want to see them go out sad. They made the bracket run, beating LAG, reverse sweeping LA Thieves, and then taking down NYSL twice. This is it. I don't ever want to hear those fake OpTic fans in here saying drop this person or that person. Always have hope. This champs was set up perfect for them to go into flow state. I felt it the whole tournament. What a tournament as well. Production was fantastic. The arena was insane. Really glad to have grown up alongside this org and witnessed them take home 2 world championships now. I'm only 26, but I've been watching OpTic since 2012. Super nice feeling of nostalgia is setting upon me right now, and of course so much joy at this win. So OpTic fans were feeling good after OpTic won COD Champs after 7 years, so it was a no-brainer that this team was going to stay together. Shotzzy, Dashy, Kenny, and Pred really have the potential to take over this season. There's a lot of pressure that comes with being on that team, but the players have shown that when it truly matters, they could clutch up, and I'm sure it helps with the veteran leadership of Kenny. But I couldn't talk about OpTic without talking about their rival, ATL FaZe. You know, the OpTic FaZe rivalry goes back so far in Call of Duty, and even now in the CDL era, it's always so much fun to watch these teams battle it out. After the Modern Warfare 2 season, FaZe wanted to upgrade their roster. They had Slasher, but then they picked up Draza, who had just come off of a championship, and the trio of Simp, Celium, and Abizi have been together since the beginning of the CDL and have found so much success over the years. They've just been looking for the 4th piece to their puzzle to make them the best team in the world, so that's why they upgraded to Draza, and they actually found a lot of success in Modern Warfare 3 and were one of the most consistent teams in the game. I mean, they were at the top of their game the entire season, placing top 3 or better at every event besides the biggest one. 2nd at Major 1, 1st at Major 2, 3rd at Major 3, 2nd at Major 4, and then top 6 at Champs. They earned their biggest bag during the Esports World Cup, making $600K, making their total 2024 tournament earnings over $1 million. Sucks their worst event happened to be the biggest. Still solid year though. Wish they'd won more, but tough to be disappointed with making 4 finals and winning 2 of them. It was a Major 3 choke versus Toronto. Prior to that, Major 2 land through that game. They were the most consistent, dominant, and confident team in the league. I didn't think they'd lose ever again. After that loss, they lost a ton of confidence, and they went from feeling invincible to being a 50-50 coin flip again with any of the top 4. Matchups are just insane. Ultra stopped them from winning 2 more events, just how OpTic stopped NYSL winning more events, and FaZe stopped OpTic winning 2 more events. The top 4 were battling it out all season, but Toronto Ultra had their number, especially on LAN. You know, you had the infamous Scrap and Draza beat, and Ultra got the last laugh when they eliminated FaZe from COD Champs. On the flip side, FaZe dominated OpTic throughout the season, despite the Dashy 1v3, but their Esports World Cup win was a great way to bounce back from COD Champs, and they decided to keep the same roster going into Black Ops 6, so we'll see if they can keep up their consistency and battle it out against the other top 2 teams. The last one being the Los Angeles Thieves, the new super team in the COD League. After Toronto Ultra and NYSL struggled throughout the Modern Warfare 3 season with consistently winning, the top 2 players from each team, Scrap and Hydra, decided to join forces on Nadeshot's CDL team, LA Thieves. Now, Toronto and NYSL were in the conversation contention for top 4 all year, but just couldn't break through. They were dominating the rest of the league, but when it came to playing against FaZe and OpTic, they usually struggled. I think these teams could have stuck together and still been contenders, but the top 2 players from each team, Scrap and Hydra, thought it would be better if they just joined forces and built a super team around them. Last season, the LA Thieves was forced into a rebuilding period, picking up a few free agents, one of them being Ghosty, who dominated this season. And despite having a young team, they made a few solid tournament runs, especially towards the end of the season. But if you have Scrap and Hydra available, you just gotta clear the roster and make room for them. And that's what Nadeshot did. After a bunch of conversations in the offseason, Nadeshot and LA Thieves were able to buy out Scrap and Hydra, and Scrap was vouching for Envoy, who's been a veteran in this league for quite a while. So Envoy joined the team, and LA Thieves decided to keep Ghosty after an incredible second season in the CDO. And so now the league has gone from being a top 4 league, now being condensed to the top talent being on the top 3 teams. But just because these are the best 3 teams on paper, that doesn't mean that they're just gonna completely dominate the league all season, especially at the beginning of the game, because not everybody knows the maps and things like that. And there are a few teams who look really promising on paper, and these are just my opinion. The Toronto Ultra have Insight, Kleenex, Joe Deceives, and Beans. That's a promising up-and-coming team, and Insight and Kleenex might be looking to make Scrap regret leaving Toronto. Cloud9 has Sib, Attach, Mac, and Kremp. They have the veteran leadership in Attach, and if the SMG duo can find some consistency, they could be a problem. Vancouver Surge is Abuza, 04, Hixie, and Nasty. 04 and Abuza just came off of incredible rookie seasons and could carry this team. I hope some of the other teams surprise me, like the NYSL rebuild with Lens instead of Hydra. So it's going to be interesting to see who creates a challenge for these top 3 teams. But regardless, it's going to be hard to take these guys down. The top 3 are currently stacked, and we'll have to see which of the bottom 9 can make a name for themselves in Black Ops 6. There's already been chaos in the CDL with the release of Black Ops 6, and I wanted to touch on it in this video real quick just because I'm excited for the season to start. I want to just keep talking about Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 was released on October 25th, and teams have already started playing the kickoff tournaments, scrimming against each other, getting reps in on the new maps with the new weapons, and experimenting with Omni movement. Shotzi's even been in the lab in private match, finding all the nerd spots for S&D. I'll definitely be using some of these. But the assault rifles have been extremely dominant, as they usually are with every year, which has resulted in the XM4 and the Model L being GA'd by the pros. With GAs, is kind of like just the pros in a group chat trying to figure out what they like, what they don't like. It just goes back to the previous season where there was just a bunch of different things getting GA'd. Some teams were breaking them, and it was just chaotic throughout the season. I saw somebody say on Twitter to bring back ban and protect. It adds more strategy to the game. I honestly think that's a great idea. If you don't want certain weapons in a series or on a map, you just do ban and protect. The GAs just get crazy, but on that same token, it is a good thing because it balances the game for the pro players. I just wish they would give it more than a week before they started GAing things, and there's not really anything we can do about it. We just gotta just wait and see what happens. But another point of contention has been the maps. The pros can't control that as much, but people are not a fan of the maps that Treyarch put out. I don't really like these maps either. The only one I like is Payback, but I might be a little biased. I'm probably never spawning in on Red Card for the rest of the time Black Ops 6 is out, but I will watch it. So we'll have to see if Treyarch comes out with new maps as Season 1 is right around the corner. But the Call of Duty League did announce that the CDL season is beginning on December 6th. The league is also adding minor online tournaments this year that is going to run alongside some of the qualifiers. If you remember back in the day, there used to be weekend tournaments like 2Ks and 5Ks where the pro teams would hop in a minor tournament and play against each other. This is a similar vibe that I'm getting from this, and hopefully it plays like those old 2Ks and 5Ks because that was great content for people who just wanted to watch more Call of Duty. It's just a fun addition to the season, so I can't complain about that at all, and it adds to the excitement of the CDL season being right around the corner. There's going to be a lot of changes coming in the next few weeks as it's only the beginning of the game, so let me know down below which team you're most excited to watch this season. We'll have to see how this 3-team league structure goes and how OpTic, LAT, and FaZe are going to battle it out against each other and the rest of the competitive league. It's a great time for Call of Duty, and things are only just heating up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, check out my recent video on the LA Thieves super team. You should be able to click on the screen right now, hopefully, if I did it right. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope y'all have a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.